find something to put at the top. We're gonna take this conversation serious. 'Cause I think people gonna get offended.
Yeah, it,
Gonna
it, it,
take
might-
this
it, it
one
might it
serious.
might get kind of hot around the collar up, with this joint.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Like, you know,
shit.
that topic, huh?
We try to get real dialogue. Just remember that we just trying to get real dialogue. So let me find something to post at the top. All right. Yep.
Yeah, but why you pinning that right there? So, I mean,
Hey y'all,
hey, what's going on? Is it Marsha? Is that how you say it?
Marcia.
You said is Marcia?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. I don't want to mispronounce your name. All right, Marcia, how you doing today?
good in you.
I'm doing well. Well as a snail, snug as a bug in the rug. Bars.
Bars.
Straight boy.
Straight fucking bars. This
Yo, my
Virgo
grandmother
mug.
used to say
This
that to me,
Virgo
man. I
mug.
was like, yo, she up there spitting this hot flame, hot fire.
So man, so suicide, huh? So suicide, a coward's move, coward's play. For me, like my man was saying earlier, there's some cases where it may be some other in play, but I don't think all of it is the same. I do think it's a coward's move. I'm not, I would never change on that.
Yeah, I mean that
I'm gonna start paying
especially if you got
attention.
like a family and all that other stuff, man. You checking out, and I guess like leaving like the little note, whatever is because people you're gonna ask, well, why did they do this? Why? You see what I'm saying? So then it's like, boom, boom, boom. This is why I had to do this. But also that goes into at least in our community, we don't really talk about like mental health, if that is the case, or if you're going
Hmm.
through something. If I'm going through something and I'm like, yo, man, I can't pay these bills, man. I don't know what to do. Only way out is this. But
Hmm.
maybe if I was like, hey Vince, man, hey look, bro, I'm about to get evicted, da 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 da. He might be like, Russ, man, I'm gonna go ahead and throw you a stack, whatever, so you can keep your house and your kids happy. Well, you know what I'm saying? You never know.
Right.
But if you feel like, damn, I can't talk to nobody, can't say to nobody, this is my only option. Like, to me, bruh, if I'm on a submarine going to the bottom of the ocean, ain't no way out that joint. But hey, I'm still ain't doing. I still ain't going to it. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't killing myself.
I will say, every situation is different. I'm gonna give you one. And you tell me what you think about this. Now, let's say you're dealing with an elderly person who all day aches and pains and is in pain all day and is misery, and they want to, they rather just go because they know they're close to the end, but every day it gets worse and worse. Will we consider she or he a, um, a coward?
Absolutely.
She wanted to take herself. I don't. I
I'm,
couldn't. I could. Oh, that's one I can't answer because I don't know
No.
what
I
that
mean,
is. What
I
that is to be
understand.
in pain like that. You know, instead of want to die, it's like being in a fire nonstop. You know what I mean? That's the only way I can envision
I get it. Well, I guess to me, if they come out with cures and remedies all the time. You know what I mean? So you just content with just sitting around just like I'm just gonna accept my fate, or I'm just gonna I can't take this pain anymore and all of that. I mean, I understand, I get it, but I just I just killing yourself, man. That ain't that to me that ain't never an option to me. Just killing yourself. So if
it.
you feel
Me
like
too,
well
man.
you
Oh, my beans are the bean people. Sorry, go ahead.
no, 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 you good. So I mean, like if if I know AJ, through the thumbs down. If you feel like that's not something, or that you would do that, then come out the mic and let me hear what you got to say. I'd love to hear your opinion.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
I just disagreed with that elderly situation because the way Vincent worded it was correct. There's some people out here that go through pain that are older. There's no cure for it. Absolutely no cure. You can't do anything about it but be in pain. And I feel like that should be an option for those people. But
Yeah, that is
But
actually being talked
suicide,
about.
suicide
Mhm.
thing in general, wanting to take yourself out just because you're going through a certain situation that you may feel like you can't get out of. Nah, that's out. That's out. That's out. That's something you can never come back from. You get what I'm saying? That's some weak shit. And I feel like, and there are things like depression. Depression is real. That's something you can get helped with, though. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Not just taking a drastic decision to take yourself out this world and not being able to come back. You know, that's something that can be fixed. It's only a mind state. It's not something that's
See,
stepping. You get what I'm
but the
saying?
problem is in our community we don't even talk about mental health, and
At
when we
all.
do, the ones who do know it and see it, they don't try to
You want
do
to know
anything
why?
to
You
try to
want to know
help
why?
you.
Because some of
Tell me why.
these people don't give a fuck. That's
Oh,
all
that's a
I
fact.
ever gotta say. That's the all. It's not an excuse. That's what it is.
So how
Nobody
we gonna
gives a
fix it
fuck.
in our
Well,
community if nobody gives a
If we
fuck?
train
but
Go
I'm
our
ahead.
saying
children,
Go
if
ahead,
we
like,
bro.
train our children the right way, they'll understand. But until that
well,
happens, I don't know. I don't see it changing.
go ahead, Claire.
That's not necessarily true that people don't give a fuck. I suffer from depression, anxiety. I've attempted suicide twice.
Mm.
Now, that's something you didn't know.
Mm-mm.
Because of that, if I see a situation that alarms me, I will, and I have, reached out to that person and said, I'm here if you want to talk. If you don't, that's fine, but I'm here. If you want to talk, I will listen, and what you say to me goes no further. And I have done that with people in all sorts of situations on Clubhouse. Now, just to put my money where my mouth is, I do the odd voiceovers for a guy called David Kidd who has a room Vibrations of Speech, and he has interviews from time to time. And I do the intro and a room reset and sometimes a closing of the room. It's all because you Americans love my English
Love
accent.
it.
Now, the reason I'm
Sure do.
saying this, put my money where my mouth is, David more than once has asked me, how can he pay me? And I have always felt incredibly uncomfortable with being paid for something that really hasn't cost me anything. So, what I came to the conclusion was that there is another guy on the app who is doing a film about mental health that he is trying to raise money for. So and he's another black guy. David's a black guy, and the filmmaker is a black guy. So I have said to David, I don't want to be paid. I'm not interested in being paid. But if you would like to make a donation, here's this guy's name. He's making a film about mental health. That's a cause I believe in. Please give a donation to him. So if I see trouble, if I see there's a situation that doesn't ring true for me, someone says they're okay and actually I'm not convinced, or I see an episode of bullying, or if I just know that someone is really unhappy, I can and I do reach out. And actually, I've reached out more to black men on this app than I have any other type of person. Now, I don't expect black men to respond to me as a middle-aged white female woman, but sometimes, just sometimes, they do respond because I've shown that I care enough to ask the question. So, who cares? I'm sticking my hand up. I care. So there you
Yeah,
go.
That's good word,
we
Claire.
need more people like
Mhm.
Claire out there doing what she do to do
Exactly.
well.
I feel the same way.
Yo, go
But
ahead.
I
You got
feel
it.
like,
Go ahead,
well,
man.
this generation, man, I don't think nobody really understands this generation. Like, I'm not saying nobody doesn't, but the generation we live in, I've seen it, man. It's crazy how people should just pass by some things that could just easily be like, hey, you all right? Or, little things, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know.
Well, in the society that we live in, we have this thing called, being cordial and being nice and saying things that we really don't mean and that we really don't believe in. Give you an example. You go somewhere, let's say at, I don't know, the grocery store, wherever you live at, somebody will say that it's the exchange you have. How's it going today? Okay. Is that true? No. One, why are they asking you? Because they don't care. And B, why are you lying to them? Because you're saying that it's not. We do this all the time. We may not think because it's so common to
Right.
do that. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? This is the society that we live in. So now you get to somebody and you say, well, I'm gonna tell you how it is for me, how I look at it. Telling you my problem that you just listening to it and you ain't solving the problem is like a waste of time to me. And some people feel that way. So look, if look, I'm in a situation and ain't no way out. Just the only way out is to go ahead and check myself out. Well, let's sit down and talk about it. What's talking about it gonna do? I know the problem. I'm just telling you. You see what I'm saying? Now you know. There's no solution. So I think sometimes when you have something, you can get to a solution. You know what? If I can help solve your problem, not just sit there and just look at you, listen to you speak, that's cool. Some people, that's great for some people, but others, that's not enough. You see what I'm saying? When people pass away all the time, you know what people say? That they don't mean, yo, if it's anything you need, for real? Because if I come to you with what I need, then you tell me you ain't got it. Or you tell me, oh, well, yeah, hey man, I need you to watch my dog for 2 weeks. Or I need you to, give me some money. Or whatever it is. So people say shit all the time that they don't mean. So it's very insincere. And we do this all the time. So that's what I think.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's a
I
hella
agree.
good point.
You got it, Jose. You got it, brother. Welcome to
Go
the
ahead,
room,
man.
Jose.
No, no, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, homie.
No, no, man, you got it. You know I like to do a lot of talking. You got it.
No, no, that was a good point though. It's kind of like, but at the same time, it's common courtesy. I'd rather have that than someone not come to me and not even say none of that. Even though they don't mean it, they don't mean it. It's being sympathetic. There's a difference between like sympathy and empathy. Being sympathetic, I'll buy that. But you're right though. It's like they really don't mean it, and you learn to be that way too. It's like, all right, they're cut up in their feelings right now. They're in a different place right now. Someone passed away, and this is what I need to say. So that's interesting,
Right.
man. That's interesting.
I mean, people pass away or something tragic happens in somebody's life. And look how twisted things are. I don't know if this ever happened to you or not or whatever. Somebody pass away. That's a very traumatic time, very hurtful time for you. Then that person you talking to ends up telling you about somebody that passed away in their life. Well, I'm not really. I don't say that I don't care, but at this moment, I'm in this situation now. Yeah, I remember. What I'm saying when my cousin got shot. We ain't talking about your cousin. You see what I'm saying? It's not gonna sit there and comfort you on some shit that happened 5 years ago. Whereas you can just listen, and if you're straight up and you mean what you say on everything, we say things all the time that we don't mean. And when a person calls you out on it, then we get upset. Hey man, you told me whatever I need. Remember that? That's what you told me. You asked me, well, how was your day? And if I say, oh man, thank God you asked me that. I'm standing in line at the gas station. Whoo, okay, so this morning I got a oh man, and I ain't even feel like making my bed. You gonna be like, oh my God, this dude told me his whole life story. But you asked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We do it so often it don't even register that we do it. It is
Well,
you feel me? Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say welcome to the room, doctor. But you're right, Russ. Spit that shit. Go ahead. Yeah. Welcome to the
Yeah, yeah,
room.
hey, it's popcorn style, y'all. So anybody can just hop in. I'm just talking
Now,
because anybody's
now,
saying it.
Russ, let's
What's up?
go back to what we was talking about in the other room. Now, you dating somebody, and you know it's a toxic situation. You ready to get out of that situation, and that person uses, "I'm going to commit suicide to keep you there," and mean it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Hell
What do
no,
you?
that's
What?
manipulation.
I mean,
I
it is.
know. So, what do you do in that situation? Do you
I
leave and we roll the dice?
I would feel really really guilty. I'm like, look. If I'm deciding to walk away, and she tell me, if you leave me, I'ma kill myself. Now, this here's a little caveat. If you a person that feel like you ain't gonna do that, then I just leave. If I feel like you're a person that when you say something, you do what you say, I'd be a little concerned about that one. Cause then I know if I walk out of your place or wherever we are, if I walk out of your presence and I find out like some hours later that you done took some pills or shot yourself in the face and all that, and the last person that saw you alive was me, and somebody says, "Well, yo, Russ, yo, hey man, I mean, you the last person to talk to Sally. What did she say? Well, she was like, if I leave her, she's gonna kill herself. That's what she said. How they gonna look at you? It's a tight situation to be in. You feel
That's
me?
why
Jose?
that's why you gotta have an exit plan, bro.
Hey man,
You gotta make some phone calls. You gotta write some
Jose
documents.
is
You gotta,
tripping, bro.
bro. You gotta like, man. You gotta write everything down, dude. You gotta like to the T, bro.
It just
Voice record.
that's difficult,
Really
you
though.
know. And for all the, the folks that that are in here, folks that are down at the bottom and things like that, it comes into play where it's like I don't know if I would be. I probably would. I would probably still leave, but I will probably do it in a different way, other than just storm out the house and slam the door behind me, or just say forget you.
I
I don't
feel
care
you.
what
Yeah.
you do. So handling it like a little better, if that, because that's never happened to me before. So I'm saying if that were to happen, then I will probably be like, look, whatever. It just you're a great girl, or you got some nice feet. You can do some stuff. I don't know. Say something that would make her feel more like I'm not abandoning her, even though I guess I am. I don't know, but that's how I look at it.
That nigga said, I don't know. No, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like you abandon it. I mean, that is a tactic that she's using to keep you there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to all her close family members and friends, and make sure that they're aware of what she's going through, so someone can step in because I'm stepping out. So I'm gonna need one of y'all who love her to step in so I can step out, and I'm leaving.
But
That's what
Vince,
I'm doing.
well, when are you gonna do that?
You said when?
When?
At the first when the first time she says that shit to me.
So
That if I
you face to face, you right there. So
yeah,
are
face
you
to face.
leaving to do that, or you gonna do
No.
it in front of her? Because if
What do
you
you mean?
leave within the time frame, you walking out that door.
No. I'm not. No. I'm gonna look at her and say, look, baby, everything is okay. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go in here later and go to sleep. Then the next day, I'm gonna go get at her people and let them know. Listen, this is what I'm doing. So I suggest, well, if y'all care about her, like I care about her, that's why I'm reaching out to y'all. Y'all need to step in and take care of this because I'm stepping out. So everybody's on. If it happens, it's on everybody in. But you're not keeping me there for the sake of what the fuck you think you entrapment, nigga, please.
Yeah, I
Nigga,
mean
please.
that's manipulation at its highest level, man.
Boy,
You
nigga,
you you,
please.
you tell somebody that
Hmm.
Hey,
and
I look. I don't love nobody more than I love myself, nigga. That's asking too
yeah,
much.
true. I do love
You
me
know
some
what
me.
I'm
I ain't gonna lie
saying?
about that.
Come on, man. That's asking a little too
Hey,
much for me.
my mom always told me, bro, if she's gonna say she's gonna kill herself, she's gonna do it without you, in front of you, or like on the sidelines, bro. She's gonna do it. You have nothing to do with it. You said you're gonna be there.
Man,
You're gonna be there, and you know, I've known people who try to commit suicide, man. It's not easy, but what can you do, man? It's in their hands, literally. Like they do it themselves, dude. It's like just because you turn your back, you can't blame yourself. You get what I'm saying?
No, I mean I understand that. I'm saying, but I would feel very 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 guilty. Now, how about this? Would you lie if somebody asked? Now, okay, so you stand in front of this person, you know what I mean, and this person tells you, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill myself, and you're like whatever, and you walk out the door. That person kills themselves. That person's parents, mom, their loved ones come to you and say, you were the last person to see so and so alive. What did they say to you? Would you lie and say that line? Or, would you lie and say, this is exactly what happened? Or would you lie and say something else?
Yeah, that one's a hard one, man. I think that's why they created another episode of True Crime right there, bro.
Right. That's the
You know,
episode.
did
Snap,
he
my
do
G.
it? Did he not? It's the last one to see him or see her. You know, it's just
Right.
like boom, boom, boom. But like,
And then
I don't
there
know,
was
man. That's a
Jose,
tricky
the
one.
last person to see her alive. And she uttered the words, "If you leave me, I'll kill my." You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you the last person to see the person alive. So some people will blame you. Not that it's right, but you told the truth. That's like some, that's some like a morality type of thing.
In psychology and all that, in criminology, it's usually the spouse is always suspected during the suicide, even if it was a suicide. They'll treat it like a homicide at
Oh,
first.
for real?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I
will.
didn't know
Hell
that.
yeah, they will.
Mm.
Yes, hell
Holy
yeah.
shoot, man.
Yeah.
That's
That's what
crazy.
I'm saying.
So you have some point to that,
Shit.
man. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah. Anybody else with time? I want to hear from a lady.
I think if someone commits suicide, then it's on them, and the people around them really are not in a position to stop it. If someone really wants to do it, then they will. I like Vincent's idea of going to the family, to friends, to tell them that's what's being threatened. I also would like to add that you should encourage the person concerned to seek professional help, because clearly that's needed as well.
I agree. I just think
Right.
that would not, to me, that wouldn't be the moment. Depending on who she is, right? If it's really toxic, I'll stay away from any trigger words that's gonna trigger. I'll let the family step in first, and when she
Yeah.
calm down, then I can get in my bag of, I'll go with you. If you need me to take you, I'll be there. You know what I mean? Well, I'm saying I wouldn't abandon, but what I will do is look at you different because you pulled that bullshit in the first place. I'm not gonna forget that. So let's just I know we on Clubhouse having conversation, but this straight no chaser. I want to hear real. I want to hear how you really motherfucking feel. Like I don't want to hear that politically correct shit. In that situation for me, you just tried to entrap me. I'm saying we both need to break up. It's not healthy. We want the best for each other, right? So the best thing probably would do is to split up. Maybe we can fix it later. You go straight to I'm gonna kill myself if you leave. Like what the fuck? So mental illness issues, whatever the case is, I'm cool with that. But don't expect me to be like everything is okay now. And I'm gonna be there to support you because I still love you. Besides that, but I'm not gonna look at the situation the same.
So Vince, let me curve this over here to you like this. So
Hmm.
okay, all right. So all right, she says she's gonna kill herself. And so if
Hmm.
I say, okay, I won't go, but then create a program or try to get something that can get her to some like a mental health professional. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So
Yeah.
now I mean, because if you stay, I mean, how toxic is that? So we only staying because I don't want you to kill yourself. That's the only reason why I don't love you no more. I just don't want you to, I mean, because you still, or you at one point love that person or had feelings for that person. I would feel some kind of way, even though I'm not on speaking terms with a lot of my exes, but I know I will feel a certain kind of way if I heard that they killed themselves. Like, dang, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I ain't calling them up. We ain't hanging out. We ain't doing nothing. But if word got back that that's what happened, I'm like, damn, wow, wow. But now, if I can prevent that from happening, not that it's my responsibility. You're an adult. You. I'm just trying to relinquish the guilt on my shoulders to say that I did everything that I could to avoid
Yeah.
this from happening. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so what? But we saying the same thing. Just two different methods of doing it. My method of doing it is I'm looking at the shit for what it is. I'm a realist. You just use this mechanism to keep me here, to threaten me that you gonna kill yourself, so I can live with that for the rest of my motherfucking life. Like you just played that card, and it's really fucked up. The ones who play that card, they really not gonna kill themselves. They just say that because they know it works. Like let's really
Hmm.
wake that shit up. We got them out there that really ain't gonna do a damn thing, but they know that it works. So with me knowing all that, I'm not. I don't have time to figure out which one you are. All I'm saying is you did that. We're gonna get you help if you really want help. But I didn't. God, when I came in this world, I came through my mama woo woo by myself. I didn't have me, you, John, Wayne. It was me that came in this world. And at the end of the day, I gotta worry about me. At the end of the day, it's no matter how much I love you, if you ain't right for me, if you are toxic for me, when do you get to the age where you just don't deal with that shit no more?
You're right.
It's to the point where I look at people like you want to deal with that. It ain't no you. You
Some people don't ever grow
something.
out of it. That's real talk, homie. Some people just
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah.
You know, some people just get stuck,
they
and
stuck
but
in the
it ain't
mud.
you. You know.
Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
in the long scheme of things, I really, and this sounds very selfish to say this, but I really am doing it for me. Although I don't want you to kill yourself, I don't want to be left with the guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be left with the fact that damn, this person told me this, and pulled a gun out and blew their head off. I'm sure that's happened to people. Like they do it right in front of you. That's even more traumatic to see something like that happen. Or they go and they down some pills, whatever like that. So like, for me, by me saying something that will prevent you from killing yourself, that in turn is just helping me. It ain't really for you, even though it is. You know what I'm saying? Like the person not dying is like a byproduct. I don't want to feel guilty. That's just being real. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm with you. I don't want to feel guilty either. But I mean, I can only control what I can control, right? I can
Yeah.
only control what I can control. I can't control. Listen, it's a tough. You got to make an executive decision in life. You know this shit Russ, better than I do. You was in the military. You got to make executive decisions in life in some situations. Your spiritual, your energy, that shit is currency. And I'm not saying you don't go the extra mile for certain situations and certain people. I'm not saying that, but in that particular situation, it's best that you get that girl some help immediately and you get the fuck out of it because you're still going to be causing issues lingering around because she gonna be thinking she still got a shot. What she need to be
Mm,
focusing on, why is she feeling like she got to kill herself if I leave her? That's what's more fucking important. So let me get the help you need and let me get the fuck out of there. I'll still be there from a distance, but we don't need to be around each other because you
yeah.
got more shit that you need to be dealing with right now. In my
Hell
opinion,
yeah. No, dude, that's being trauma bonded. That's like
I'm
you
just
you're
saying.
you're you're stuck, man, because you feel stuck because she's trauma bonding you. She's like, "Yo, I'm going to do this if you go." You know? And so you feel stuck. It's like, "All right, they put in a seatbelt and then put a lock so you don't release the fucking seatbelt. So you're stuck." And so, but here's the thing though. Like we can move away. What they do afterwards, sometimes it's out of our control, man. I hate to say it. I don't mean to be selfish, like Russ was saying too, but it's like I'm watching out for me too, man. I don't need to be around toxicity, you know?
That's what I'm. That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But Russ, like I don't want that shit. I
I don't
don't
want
want
this
that
shit.
on my
Like
conscience.
I say it like this, like there's and that's just the stuff that I've done, on myself because going through some stuff of just being just very cold and like I don't care about you, you don't mean nothing to me, you know what I mean? Like that mentality is a thing that it keeps you from getting close to people when you're in at least to me in military because we go and we in doing whatever we're doing and you don't come back and I'm like, oh, so and so is gone. Yeah, it's just easier just to be that way. We keep a distance. What's up? And that's it. You keep it moving, just to keep
Oh
your
man,
your mindset going. You know what I'm saying?
I was over here making a damn room. I didn't see what the doctor said, but she said she been through that same similar situation
Who?
too.
What doctor? You talking about?
The that sister that was here named Doctor. I can't say it's Sazikia.
Oh, Doctor
Zakia.
Zakaya.
Sakaya.
The situation
Sakaya.
happened to me. Look, oh dang, man, she didn't even come out the mic. I wish she would have said something.
I wanted to hear from her. I know people personally that deal with that shit. I deal with that shit, man. That's some crazy shit. But the person I was dealing with, I really didn't think she was gonna pull the motherfucking trigger. I sure put that ass to the test though. I ain't gonna lie, I lingered around a little more than what I should, cause I was young. I ain't know no better, so I lingered around, you know. But yeah, I got the fuck out of there. She got her. She started fucking with somebody like 2 days later. After all that, I'm gonna kill myself right now.
All right.
That's why I
Yeah.
feel the way I feel. It's like, man, come on. Cut it out. But I'm gonna make sure somebody there, cause I don't want that on my conscience. That's the whole point. They need help. I don't want that on my conscience. That's the right thing to do. But under no circumstances am I obligated to stay in this shit because if I leave, you gonna kill yourself. Shit, you got the grenade in the pen in your hand, not me.
I mean, facts on that. Yeah, it ain't nothing that I'm trying to do to like extend something that I know it ain't going down. But then also, I say it like this: de- depending upon how that how that goes down. If I catch you cheating and you banging somebody else, I'm a little more colder to you saying something like that
Mm.
than I probably wouldn't care.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? So check it out. So
Whoa.
you come home from work or whatever like that, walk in the room, about to get you a cold one, you hear okay. You walk around you walk around the way and she ain't then getting banged out by some dude. Yo, I'm out. Don't leave me. I'm gonna kill myself. Yo, you
Yeah,
just had my man's yam in your mouth. I'm not even like, what are you talking about?
run it out that door.
I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I don't
No, dude,
care.
I'm out right there too, bro. There's not even questioning it. Like I'm fucking out, dude.
Man,
Hell
nigga,
no.
I didn't even hear what the fuck you just said, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Now, niggas who do that, I wonder how many men go after the man like they don't even know him. But you know what I'm saying? Like how women go after the women. I wonder how many men go after the man in a situation like that.
I mean, listen, the only way I'm saying something or speaking to the dude is if I know that guy. If I don't know him, he doesn't know. So whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't hold that against him because if
That's
she
what
didn't
I'm
tell him,
saying.
it ain't. Hey man, you going after him? Now if I know him and he knows we're together, that's a different story.
That's a
But
whole different
if it's
thing.
some stranger, yo, I don't even look at yo, my man, get your clothes on and get out my house. Now I'm gonna direct that energy towards her because she's the one that sparked it off. Unless she tells if you married and got a ring on, which don't mean nothing to people these days, but you can take a ring off. You go out, you get to talking to somebody, whatever. Yo, it's going back to my place, and you get back over there, and all that to go down, and she didn't tell you that she was married and she got a dude, and he walk in and catch you. The dude ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right. No, I'm
That's
with you on that. Let me switch this real quick. Let me ask you this, Russ. Do you think mental testing should be required for everyone, where you have to get mentally tested at least once a year, every 6 months, or something
oh
like that?
wow, you mean I think that would be well, I think it would have to be more than just being tested. Because if you just test it, then you just okay, now you know. All
Okay,
right,
like
now
what? Like
I'm
what?
saying like it would have to be attached to something that you will be required to get help to fix whatever it is if it ain't all together. You know what I
Well,
mean?
no, I'm saying they doing testing because a lot of people go around here with mental illness and don't even know it for years, and they don't even because they're not educated on it. So what if they made it to where it was a requirement, like going to the
Well,
doctor?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To get mentally tested 6 months to a year, a
Well, I'm
requirement.
saying if you don't do something to fix it, you just the only difference is you would just know that would be it. You just know that you got schizophrenia, and then
No, no,
you
no. They test it, and then if you have this, they give you the medication and send you where you need to go.
oh well
But
yeah
if
yeah
they,
yeah.
you get what I'm saying. So they make it mandatory to to get your mental tested or whatever you would call it, and then every 6 months to a year, if they find something, if they can they can handle, they can deal with it a lot. They can be on top of it. But that a lot of people is not going to be open to getting mentally tested either. You know what I mean?
Well
But
yeah.
what do y'all think? Y'all think that should be a requirement? What up, geek? Salute. Okay, you in there? No. So what y'all think?
I don't know, man. You know, being like, I mean, I guess I don't know. We do. I mean, it should be a really, if that's the case, is making an overall, testing of people, of everything. You know, so you getting like a, let's say, like you getting a full physical, and within that full physical, you're also getting your mental health checked as well. So whatever it
But
is
that's
that
what I'm
you,
saying. As a requirement though, you required to do that. Think about what I'm saying. You required to do that.
yeah, I think that, and I think if you got like any type of ID or driver's license or whatever like that, that should be on there too. So at least you a person know, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
I want no one with dementia or fucking schizophrenia driving, 85 on the freeway,
there
bro.
you
Hell
go.
no.
So if you have to take like a mental test before you take your driver's license, which on a side note is a bunch of BS anyway, because you only take a test one time in your life if you live in the same state. So you just keep renewing. So shouldn't you have to re-up? So you 85 years old, that's on something else. Anyway, so yeah, I think if you have to take some sort of a assessment test to where your mental is and all of that, yeah, and then they give you the proper medications and say you got to come back. If you're found that you got some kind of mental thing going on, then you got to keep going back and be on this medicine, or it's punishable by, I don't know, prison or some stuff like that. You probably will help a lot of people, I think.
So let me just say something real quick. I came in midway through the conversation, so I'm like my point of view may be clearly off or anything, and I don't want to offend anybody. But if you asking if suicide is a coward move, I personally believe yes it is, because life is just generally unfair. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. Either you're gonna deal with it or you not. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at it. Like it's a grip of shit that we go through every day, bro. That's like completely unfair. But also that shit builds character. You dig what I'm saying? And the greatest challenges that we come to face, bro, wouldn't be the greatest challenges if we didn't get the best rewards from that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to fail, you're going to fall. Shit's going to happen. But we need to stop complaining and, you know, I feel like they're trying to make a scapegoat for people that do have these negative thoughts. No, you should empower those people, not cater to their feelings of doubt and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Empower them. I'll just land my plane right there.
Hey, hey, you know.
Yo, hold on, man. You in the matrix, bro.
Oh, good. Hey, ready for me, ready?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So like, no, I'm saying like, so all right. Let me just throw this at you, geek. So like, if there's somebody that's going through something, and they feel like they don't got no way out, and they're back against the wall, they got bills piling up or whatever it is that's going on in their life, that they feel like the only way to check out is to check out. I mean,
I can't rob that person from how they're feeling, bro. Me personally, I can't tell somebody how to feel. You know what I'm saying? The best that I can do is tell you how I feel and my perspective of how I look at things and try to empower you to help you feel better. I can't change your way of thinking, but as long as me saying something, I did my part. You know what I mean? Now, whatever choice you make after that, that's completely on you. You're a grown, consenting adult. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fuck me up if you do fall through with that shit. But at the same time, it's like, bro, that's your choice. I can't walk in your shoes. I can only imagine.
right, yeah, and that becomes that's a good solid statement until it becomes somebody that's really close to you, mom,
Mm,
dad, brother, sister, daughter, son. You see what I'm
mm.
saying? Are those words still the
Yes,
same
they
for
are,
those
because
people?
even though, like
I
I
see.
said,
Yup.
the hurt and the effect may be to a greater degree, but the words
There
still
we go.
imply. Because at the end of the day,
Yup.
I can scream till I'm blue in the face, bro. If that person doesn't hear me, that person doesn't hear me, bro. And my love for that person is not going to sway or whatever the case may be just because they didn't hear me. It's going to hurt
Hmm.
me more that you didn't value yourself enough to the degree that I value you. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
is gonna kind of fuck me up to that degree. But I can't, like, I can sit up here and tell anybody right now, like, look, you're worth it, you're worthy of being here, whoop de whoop that, this, that, and the third, right? But if that person genuinely, truly doesn't feel that way, there's nothing I can say or do that's gonna help change that person's point of view. They gotta realize that for themselves.
Nobody's above approach. Not even your parents, bro.
Right. No, I got that 100%. I just know that's, like, when it becomes, if, a person is on their last, they last leg, they don't, I don't have no other choice. There's no way out, because quite frankly, no matter any person, whoever it is that you know in this life, whoever that person is, there's something about that person that you don't know.
Oh, that's a fact. But what I
So
would
now,
say
if they're
is
dealing with
this.
something that you don't know, and maybe they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they ain't even want to talk to you about that, but they still
Man,
going through it.
you
No,
got the
that's a fact.
beautiful,
I would agree
you
with
got
you
the
on that. But
beautifulest gift. You got the beautifulest gift in life, and that is life. And then you supposed to cherish that life, because nigga, it is you fortunate to be here. This kid's born with
that's what I'm
cancer in
saying.
this motherfucker, who know when they're around about when they're gonna die, who will give up their arm, leg, nose, cheeks, and everything just to be able to live and breathe and look at the sky every day. And you don't take that, man. You
Hey,
blame
Vince, you going out,
shit
man?
on it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you like fading in and out, bro.
Like, these kids that got cancer, and they know around about when they gonna go, they give up any part of their body just to be here, just to breathe, just to see the sky. And then you taking life for granted because because life is hard. Like, life is hard for everybody. Some got it better than others. That's just how it is. We didn't ask for it to be this way. We done been through so much shit, nigga. And I ain't the thought of the process of thinking of killing myself never crossed my mind. If anything, is how I'm a ball, I'm a bounce back. Now I feel sympathy for them. That's why I say some of these people, they need to get help. But if you ask me, is it a coward move? 1,000%. Now in all cases, no. But in most cases that I know, I can't look at it no other way.
I don't see it as a coward move, man. Honestly,
All right, tell
Talk
me
about
why.
it.
if I could think about it like the brother just said, you got people who want life, who want to do this. That is subjective viewing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As a person, when a person is born, they born into not knowing what the hell they want. They just here. They just aware of life. Okay, now things start coming at them and hitting them. Boom, 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 boom. Life start hitting them. Now, yeah, I heard you say that some people live better lives than others, which is also a subjective thought because who knows? I can get punched and take it totally different than a person who get punched and be upset. I can take a punch and
Hey,
be
but
like,
that's different from being born poor and being born rich. That's a massive difference.
oh no, 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 because in poor, I mean, if you never experienced rich, what is poor is poor. I mean, that's life. You're still alive. You're still living. It comes a time when you see other people have other things that now your stance on being poor changes. You feel what I'm saying? And it's kind of like living life. When you see other people living, your stance change on what life is or what life is really about. And even those people who are living, who's to say that okay, that's what life is about? Who's to say that that's not blinding you from all of the things that are really purposeful or should be taken as a beacon of life? You feel me? The lessons and all of these things, who's to say that? So when I think of somebody wanting to commit suicide, um to me it's not cowardice. It's actually a brave move to me. It's like to because to live and want to live because you don't know what's going to happen when you die. That's more cowardice to me versus somebody who experienced living, never
That's huge.
experienced never experienced death, and like, you know what? I don't like this. I'll rather see what's up after this.
That's a
See,
huge
that's
jump
a
though.
that's a
That's a
perspective
huge
that I
jump.
never even thought about before, and that's powerful what you just said, brother. Like, I can see it from both ends of the spectrum. The reason why I say it's a cowardice move, and I feel like it's selfish, is because you're leaving behind people that feel like they got feelings for you.
Would that be
You
selfish?
dig
That's
what I'm
that's
saying?
that's
And
where
that's
I'm going.
fucked
My
up.
Fact.
thing
That's where I'm
is
going
it
at with
is it
that.
selfish that they feel some type of way about what you want on their part, that's selfish on them to not understand how you
No, it's
feel
not
about
selfish
your
because
life.
they give a fuck. Look, if it was selfish, they wouldn't give a fuck. They wouldn't have
That's
cared
the
at
total
all. If
opposite,
you
bro.
living or died or whatever the case may be,
No,
right?
no, no. That's selfish. It's not selfless. You're not thinking about yourself and how you feel in the act of them making the decision for their own life. That's selfless. You know what I'm saying? Like selfish is when you care more about how you feel than how they feel.
That's
Um,
what I'm saying, and that's more selfish coming
But
to
that's
on the
what
person that's
suicide is,
actually
kind
committing.
of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The person that's actually committing suicide is more selfish due to the fact that you're only looking at it from your spectrum. It's people out here in this world that's going through way worse than us, bro.
but if you think
But
of
you don't want to end your life, bro. Life is just unfair.
but
Just take that
if
up,
you
bro.
think about what you're saying, when you say that they're being selfish,
Mhm.
what's wrong with them being selfish in their self? You understand? The problem comes when selfishness is upon you and
Because you're like, granted, you wasn't asking for any of this shit, or like for my instance, for my situation, right? If I was to be on that type of time, because let's be honest, we all done had these thoughts before. But what make us braver is to keep going, even though we had these fucking thoughts, right? You dig what I'm saying? Now, let's just say me personally, if I did that shit, bro, personally, I don't have no kids or none of that shit, bro. I'm 34 years old or whatever the case may be. But if I was to do that shit, you know what's going to impact more? My nephew.
in what
Because that
way
little boy
you don't,
looks up to
but
me. You
it's
dig what
the
I'm
fact,
saying?
it's the fear that you have that you don't know how it's going to impact them. You
I
understand what I'm saying?
Oh, you
Because
read.
it's people who commit suicide and their children or their offspring end up in better positions than if they probably lived. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's due to the fact, man, I'm doing this,
But
for my
you
people
taking
or my
that, but
parents
you're
or whoever.
robbing that kid from the opportunity of getting to know their parent. I guarantee you they'll trade all of that success for the opportunity to get to know their parent who passed away or due to committing
But I can tell
suicide.
you this: it's kids who wish they never even knew their parents. You
No,
feel me?
that's a
And their
fact
parents
too.
is
But
the
the fact,
reason.
but
And
the
Whoa. I
fact
look,
mean,
and
is,
their
we got a
parents
chance to
and their
get to
parents
know
is
our
the
parents
reason
to
they want to
understand what we
commit
didn't want to fuck
suicide.
with. You're literally robbing that child of the opportunity of knowing their parent before they, like, at least we can cast that judgment on our parents. We got to know our parents. So if we say we don't fuck with our parents, we got to know them and we know that, okay, I'm not fucking with this. That person or that child is being robbed of that opportunity completely.
I see what you're saying in the essence of a parent versus a child, or you know what I'm saying. You make a stance, you bring life into the world, and then you leave that life. I understand it from that essence. What I'm speaking on is from a different standpoint. Even though in that essence it can be validated, you feel what I'm saying? I think it can be valid. You know, based on just personal, because you're robbing your child if you're not fit as a parent. Also, you can rob a child in so many other ways than just your presence. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in group homes and foster homes and things of that nature, and the best thing my parent did was put me in that situation. And I had many thoughts of suicide also, but the reason why I didn't was because I felt I was needed. I validated myself to my brothers and sisters who also was put in that. And I'm like, man, if I do that, what they gonna do? It was a sense of selflessness. I wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking more of them.
But
You know what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying though, right? So everybody, like literally everybody that has those feelings of committing suicide, they're all needed to a certain degree. It may not be from the person that they want the need to come from, but they're needed. You dig what I'm saying?
What-
Just like you said, like from your nieces or nephews or your kids or bro. With me, it was the same shit with my nephew and my nieces. You dig what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, bro, you're needed to a certain degree.
But that need is
You're
a
just looking at it from the wrong end of the
I
spectrum.
hear you, but that need would be an attachment created by yourself. You dig what I'm saying? Because had they never been, you would have not that desire or need for them.
Nah, I'm a disagree with you on that. The reason why is because I built a connection with my ex's nephew, right? That little
Right.
boy don't know me like that, right? Listen, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm needed for that little boy too. Even though me and his auntie don't fuck around no more at all, that little boy still calls on me and
But is
everything,
that
talk
is
just to
that
talk about
is that
Pokemon.
a self validation
And
that you feel like you're needed?
After you answer that, let Nikita, because Nikita wants to jump in. So go ahead
Kind
and
of,
answer
yes.
Nikita.
Yes, it does
Go
feel
ahead.
like a self-validation due to the fact that I never knew that this boy looked up to me like that. But once I found out, it was like, okay, I'm needed to a certain degree. I'm needed for like not only just him, but my other nephew. You dig what I'm saying? Like the one that's actually related to me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm I'm helping them feel free to be a geek and feel free to be alive. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So in a
Real nigga
certain way,
shit.
I am getting some kind of self-validation. I could agree with you on that.
All right. And Nikita, go ahead. You got it.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. So, a couple of things. First of all, suicide is a very touchy subject, and people may have had somebody who has committed suicide or they've had attempts themselves. But what I can say is that people don't wake up and say, today I'm going to kill myself. That's not how it works. Somebody will have had some type of trauma, some type of maybe mental struggle, right? Mental illness, other things, other factors that play into somebody choosing to take their life. Do I admit that it's a choice? Absolutely, right? You are choosing to end your life, but I think a lot of the times people are struggling and having some type of internal battle to the point where they feel that the only option is to leave this world. And I think that shouldn't be lost on people and say, oh well, you're just selfish because you're choosing. No, it's something much more nuanced and much more complex and complicated. And I think that when somebody does take their life, of course it's tragic. The family, the parents, children, neighborhood, community is going to be affected. But I think it's something we need to approach with more compassion and more understanding. I don't think
Mm.
people, are choosing the quote unquote easy way out. I think if anything, that's a difficult way out because we don't know what's on the other side, right? We don't know
Now,
how where we're going to wake up in the next life. So I think it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one for sure.
I just want to say real quick, and what you said is true, but I want to ask you a question. I want to play a little devil's advocate with you. Now, let's say all that is true. In this particular moment, I want you to tell me if this person is going to be thinking about all that compassion. If you was dating a girl and it was toxic, and we both knew it needs to end, so I finally say, you know what, I want out, and she says, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill myself, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna stick around, and then she does it again. He said, you know what? I don't think she's gonna do it. And he gets out, and then she kills herself. Do you think that dude gonna be thinking about compassion and all that at that time? Because with this topic, we talking real life. So what do you think?
Mm.
How you think he's gonna take it at that time?
Right. So, in cases where somebody threatens suicide when they're in a relationship, and I've heard cases of friends and people around me who've dated girls or women who either self-harm or attempt suicide when they break up. I think in those instances, that woman most likely has some type of personality disorder, some type of bipolar or other issue. And I'm not a doctor, by the way, but she's clearly got some type of mental illness that's taking place in that relationship, and it's manifesting. Maybe she has abandonment issues, like extreme abandonment issues, and then for her it's like, if I can't have you, then I'd rather die. In those instances, it's tragic. It would still be a tragic death that somebody has chosen to take their life, and I would imagine that that's also going to have an effect on the partner, husband, boyfriend, etc. So yes, that I mean, is it selfish in that instance? Maybe, but again, I think there's always something underlying when people do commit suicide. It's not a one thing event. I think it's a culmination of, situations, trauma, experiences that leads somebody to take their life.
I agree, but in that situation, do you think he's giving a fuck about any of
I think he might. I don't know. I'm not in the situation,
Yep,
so it's
he do.
difficult for me to say.
that?
I
He
think to an
definitely
extent he would
does.
still care because that was somebody he loved and somebody he cared
Exactly.
for and somebody who was involved in his life.
Absolutely, but I mean to the point where he's like, oh well, she might have just been later on in life. He may come around to that, but he got to live with the fact that you killed yourself because he left.
Right. And I mean, these cases are tragic. Like I've heard, various stories of parents who've lost their children to suicide, and I could not imagine that type of a pain. I think, and I'm not a parent, but I would imagine that I'd always blame myself to some extent. Like, what did I do wrong as a parent that my child felt that the only way out was to take their life? I wouldn't know how to deal with that situation.
What we were talking about earlier is now this is a different scenario. Now you have the elderly, and this is something that they're trying to make a law. They're trying to do this a real thing where they always aching and pain because they almost on their way out, but every day they in pain. and some of them they want to just go out peacefully, ready to go. Do we still consider that coward shit, or how do we look at that?
Yeah. For me, in cases of I guess you're referring to like euthanasia, people who are really sick and they need.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
think I'm. I don't. Maybe what do you say? Like hypocritical for saying this, but I do support euthanasia in cases where somebody's life is severely altered to the point where their quality of life is that low that they cannot do anything or have any, remote semblance of normal life. And I've always said this to my loved ones and family and relatives that if I ever got to a situation where I was in a vegetative state or I was clearly, you know, not able to do anything for myself, I wouldn't mind them taking my life, right? That's how I feel about it.
They have that in Switzerland. You can go there and you can fly
Right.
there, and then they'll take your life. Yeah,
Yeah,
assisted suicide.
Dignitas, it's called.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
personally don't. I personally don't have a problem with it. Anybody on the panel that may disagree with that? And everybody in the audience, if you want to come up, please. This is Popcorn Stale. This is a friendly room here. We respect everybody's opinion. If anybody gets real disrespectful about somebody's opinion, I'm just gonna simply remove them. Our room is geared on having real conversation, not stage conversation, actual conversation. That's what our room is geared for, and it will always be that way. So if you want to come up and just have actual conversation, please come up. But do anybody disagree with euthanasia?
No, I don't. I think it's your choice. I think that you're hurting the most. You feel it. Your body's dying, literally. And if you want that, and you have to sign a piece of paper for it, go for it. You know. And if it's
Facts.
yeah, if it's legal, that's your body, man. You're the one hurting. So, and you come into terms with your life, then go for it. That's my opinion.
Man, I seen it firsthand with my grandma. She didn't do it, but I mean, I understand now that if that was an option, she probably would have took it and I would have accepted it. So I do understand, you know. So that's why I'm not gonna push too hard against that because I don't know what that feels like, you know. So welcome to the room, Devin. If you there, Devin, can you please give us your insight on the topic or anything you heard so far?
Well, I think that I just came in where people talking about choosing to end their life due to suffering, like physical suffering. So,
The euthanasia thing.
right. I mean, I would never argue with that. I mean, yeah, it's your life and it's someone else's life and their body and their choice. But when it comes to other kind of suffering, like depression, um,
Wake it.
I mean, what?
Oh, I said, wake it up. I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's other kinds of suffering, which is, psychological. And I really believe that, um, first of all, my understanding of depression is that it's like an interruption and I am someone who has depression and I've had therapy for years and I am on medication. Um, it's an interruption in terms of someone's natural process or like who they're supposed to be. Like depression is a cloud or it's like a blanket, a fog that you're dealing with. And this is why I don't feel like when people are suicidal or when they end up committing suicide due to depression, like it's not even a choice. It's they've been overcome by something. And so at that point, like I said, like what choices are they making? All of their choices are informed, if not controlled, by this umbrella sensation of despair.
Right,
And
right.
so at that point, I would never judge
Mm.
someone. I would never judge someone for succumbing to it. The
Now,
people I
Devin.
do, yes.
Oh no, no, no. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you was done. Go
Um, so I would never judge the individual because I have, real compassion and sympathy for what they're
ahead.
going through. But I will tell you this, I always am frustrated when I hear about like celebrities committing suicide or well-known people, and then their families will always say, we had no idea that they were suffering. It's like, I really you know There are always signs, okay? There are always signs. In addition to that, depression runs in families. So it's not just this one individual who has suffered. It's people around them who I guess I should have compassion for them as well because they clearly haven't clearly clearly not in environments that have enabled them to take care of themselves, acknowledge what they're going through. We know that depression and any kind of mental illness or issue is looked down upon, stigmatized, particularly for women and for communities of color. But I still have am extremely frustrated because the extremely depressed people's support systems, or who are supposed to be their support systems, those people usually have failed them miserably. And the last person that I remember who was well known to commit suicide, it was that Miss America. She was some kind of pageant queen. I don't know what pageant, but she was, beautiful and educated and accomplished. And her mother said, well, she did tell me that she was depressed. Now, depressed does not necessarily mean suicidal, but all I know, and this is coming from the privilege of experience with this, just knowledge, is that if my child tells me that she's depressed one day, I'm going to be full throttle there to support her. And in the end, like I said, unless you're living with someone and your hands are on them 24/7, you can't prevent them from doing anything. But support is often free. And that's all I have to say about it.
Well, let me throw another scenario at you, there, Devin. You tell me what you think. And you just missed it too. We had just said it, but I'm gonna say it again. So let's say I'm in a relationship with this girl, and it's a toxic relationship, and we both know that it's over. We both know we need to go our separate ways, but neither one wants to pull the trigger, so I do. She tells me if I leave her, she's gonna kill herself. Now I stay because I don't know what to do in this situation. She shook me with that. Then I say, fuck that. I gotta go. I can't take it. She says it again. I say, you know what? I'm gonna call her bluff and I bounce. And she kills herself. How am I supposed to feel with compassion and love and shit at that moment?
No, so those kinds of threats, so that's abuse. Like to throw a threat like that at someone is about controlling their behavior, manipulation, and that's coming from an entire abusive personality. So you can, I mean, compassion doesn't mean that you have to submit to someone's attempt to manipulate you. You can just say, look, you have your issues and I have compassion for that, but obviously you have to prioritize yourself. But that's a very common um abusive tactic, threatening to kill
Unfortunately,
yourself.
yep, it is. Unfortunately, yes, it is. What would you do? What should I have done in that situation? What you think?
What would I do if someone did that to me?
Or what should I have done in that situation?
Well, I would
What would you
contact her if she has a support system, or at least a family. I would let them know what's going on with what you think about her psychological state. I wouldn't
Okay.
talk about your relationship whatsoever,
Right.
but I would also protect yourself. You have to protect yourself.
That's exactly. Thank you, Devin. I followed you already. Will follow you again. That's exactly what I said. I'm gonna contact her family and friends, give them a heads up on what
Hell
this
yeah.
girl just said, and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna put that hold on me. That's not happening. Go ahead, Jose.
No, dude, that is abuse, dude. Like, whether, like, I'm gonna kill myself and stuff like that, it's just like, man, everything she said, hell yeah, 100%. It's just manipulation. All it is just to get you stuck and to repeat the cycle, and then there you go, you know? But once you remove yourself from it, man, like, there's no accountability anymore, Like, it takes strength, man, to move away from those kind of relationships, those toxic ones, man. Those are toxic relationships, bro. So, yeah.
Yeah, actually, hey guys, first, if I may talk, actually, Vanta, I think narcissists and borderlines usually do this exact tactic. If you have searched, you would find that this is a very very common and popular tactic that narcissists and borderlines use. to control, and because due to the fear of abandonment and things like that, abandonment issues. So you're not alone. It happens with, you know, with all of people who have dealt with narcissists and borderlines. And I'm not judging her. I'm not saying she is a narcissist or she has borderline personality disorder. I'm just saying that people with those personality disorders do this tactic like quite a lot, like all the time.
I agree 100%, man.
I know
My
that shit is sick.
No, my brother, he's actually diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, so I know. One of my exes was actually narcissistic, highly narcissistic. So yeah, it's just like I know. I just don't say it, but I know. It's just like those kind of personality traits that come out where like they're trying to like manipulate, trying to like like it's just it's so obvious at the same time, after a while because you lived it. So that's what I live, dude. That's why I'm a life coach, part time. So it's just like I catch it, like these behaviors and stuff like that. My brother, especially, that was the first one, man. That was the most toxic one because he um, wanted to commit it, like he wanted to commit suicide many times before, and it was a manipulation. Like, because my mom would always be like, "Oh, your brother, he's feeling this and that," but after a while, it becomes old. It's just manipulation, and he's still alive now. He's sober now, and I'm happy for him. But I can love him from a distance, and yeah, that's just my experience, I guess, though. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I would still communicate. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nana.
No, no, no. Go on, please. I was just saying that PPD is highly treatable, so I think you can help him as long as it's not hurting you. It's not it's not untreatable like NPD, for example. It's treatable, highly treatable, I think. Valencia.
No, yeah, I understand that though. I already understand his condition and everything. His condition can be helped though. There's a lot of cognitive behavior therapy and stuff like that he can have. He's already taking PTSD medication, stuff like that. But I keep my distance though, because that's good for me. So but other than that, NPD, I already dealt with people with NPD. uh, they can't be helped. I mean, they are who they are. I mean, it's a personality disorder for a reason. So I really understand that. But like, yeah, yeah, I'm listening to everyone right now. So like, yeah, man, I just I'll chime in, bro. Every now and here. So I was just listening to everyone. Everyone has something good to say, So I'm just listening to.
Yeah, I have if I may chime in, I have a question. We're talking about, suicide or depression and these topics like that. I had step cousins. After my mom remarried, I had step cousins that always talked about like, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. And, at first, obviously, I'm new to the family. I'm concerned, and I'm there for support. Um, but after listening, and I mean, being around for years now, I've just kind of wondered, at what point do you really know if someone is really, like, actually depressed and not just trying to, I don't know, call for attention?
Pull a
Like,
fast.
at what point do you, like, sorry, what'd you say?
I feel like pull a fast one on you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, like, at what
Da pra
point
pra
do,
pra.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, at what point
I don't think you
do,
really can though. Like
uh-huh,
you really can't. Because
yeah,
like if a person go commit a
hmm
murder,
hmm
obviously something wrong with the nigga. But he'll go up there and play insane like a motherfucker to go to the psych ward because that's
hmm
a better time. So they can act that you really can't tell. But for me, man, listen, you can't say everybody. You can just do the best you can.
hmm
Do everything with good intentions, no ill intentions, and let God handle the rest. You
Mhm.
know, man, 'cause you gonna
Yeah,
stress. Go ahead, Quinn.
yeah. No, I feel that because I would take them to their doctor's appointments and things like that, and in the beginning, and I was wanting to make sure I was there for them to hear them out, but they have like I just wonder because they have very supportive, attentive parents. They're close with their siblings, so I don't know like what is really going on. Obviously I think when I think of mental health, I think of mineral health. We have to make sure our vitamins and minerals you know are what they need to be. Take care of yourself physically, because sometimes I've gone through those moments where I wasn't taking care of myself. I got my health back up, and a lot of depressive symptoms and other symptoms went away. And so I knew, okay, I wasn't technically depressed, but my health was just really, really bad. So I wondered with them is at what point, um, if their health is fine, if they have a support system, is it just for attention, or is there actually something there? Because when I've asked, well, how's everything going with your doctors? Have they recommended medication or this? Just follow up to make sure they're okay. It's like a brush off, and then it's just like, well, I'm still depressed and this, and this. So I get very concerned, and I just kind of raise an eyebrow when people bring these topics up, because I'm like, I don't know who's telling the truth, at sometimes. But that's just what I wanted to share.
I totally get it. That's why I like to have these type of conversations so we can have real talks about it, because we talk about this in our homes to ourselves, to our partners, but we don't talk about it out and about. You know what I mean? But when it comes to that mental health, I mean, I deal with depression, so I take something too. I do it too. But t- I can't. I don't even try to tell. Like I just um, if I see something, I'll go over there and reach out. But that's
Yeah.
best I can do. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
I don't stress myself out about shit I have no control over no more. You know,
Mhm.
I only deal with what I can control. You know,
Yeah.
prayer,
Mhm.
prayer is big too. You can't forget about prayer. Some
Mhm.
people just need to be prayed for and looked
Mhm.
after.
Then I got a lot of prayers for a lot of people. Put it that way.
Pray for me. Pray for me, brother.
If that could help them, shit.
Yeah, man. Shit, pray for me. Pray for everybody. But
Mhm.
suicide is a serious, serious thing that we should
Yeah.
be doing a lot more for, because mental health, right, in the
Mhm.
black community is not something that was taught like that. Like we didn't know nothing about psychiatrists, and you can have this being dyslexic, and when we started learning that, we started learning that in real time. And dealing with mental health, that wasn't nothing that was like, okay, this broke down that this is what mental health is, and et cetera, et cetera. We learning all this on the fly. So in our
Mhm.
community alone, we way behind. The country is behind, and our community we way behind. So we
Mhm.
need to bridge the gap on
Mhm.
on getting the communication out there about what mental health is, and how to try to recognize it, and what you do when you do recognize it. If we have more of that in our community, we have a lot more people like me and y'all out there really in our community preaching that, and our local government pitching
Mhm.
proposals to them to see what we can do in the community off the country's dime. I mean, shit, we spend what we can, but you got to get the country involved. There's things you can do, is what I'm saying. You don't have to
Mhm.
wait on the country to do it within our own community, but we don't. So we're just gonna continue to suffer and go through the trauma that we go through until you know someone steps in and changes it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. To answer the prompt on top, do you consider suicide a child murder? I don't think so. I mean, I can't speak on, what they were going through, right? So I don't think it's coward. I think when I hear comments like that, or when I read comments like that on, online, people get a little bit brave online.
Yeah.
Um, I just I get so irritated because no one really knows. People talk a good game when they're not in certain people's shoes, and once they're there, they don't really react how they said they would. So I definitely don't think it's a coward move, and it's really difficult because sometimes there are parents that commit suicide, and people are really quick to say, well, they're selfish because look at their kids are not suffering. And it's like it's true, the kids are not suffering the loss of their parent, but it's like, I don't know if I could consider that cowardice. Like, I just don't know. And I don't comment on things like that.
Right.
It
Yeah, it's just
really is a
hard.
touchy. It really is like a touchy topic though, because like I'll tell you one thing. I know a friend whose dad committed suicide, and he got fucked up for the rest of his life because of that. And because he had to walk in to that like at the age of 10. So it's like kind of like, you get what I'm saying? It's just like it he probably was hurting most definitely.
Hmm.
And but here's the thing though, it's just like you have kids. You took that responsibility. Like, and you want your
Hmm.
kid to walk in to you hanging? Like, it's just crazy.
Well,
Hmm.
this is what I'll say to what she said, because I'm
Hmm.
one of those people. I don't really do the internet shit. I'll tell you that in person, but in certain
Hmm.
situations, I do call it cowardice. Like the ones who take the. I had a neighbor who went through it not too long ago, where
Right.
her
Mhm.
nephew's son took himself out on his birthday. He did it on his birthday to spite her. You know what I'm saying? That's real
Oh.
coward shit. I wish we could switch bodies because those who want to take themselves out and shit want to die, I could put their body in one of those kids that got cancer at 11 and 12 who would do anything to fucking live. Or those people that's
Hmm.
born with no limbs who say, fuck that, I'm going to make the best out of it. And I wish I could switch them bodies. But since we
Hmm.
can't do that, cause
Hmm.
respectfully, I look at it as cowardice because I feel for those kids who
Hmm.
would do anything to live but don't have a shot. And you got a person that got both limbs, no all health, full health, but you dealing with real life like nobody else ain't dealing with real life. And I'm not trying to judge the person's situation. I'm saying you have a
Yeah.
gift of life. Why don't you appreciate life the way I appreciate life? I've been through shit and trauma my whole mother. I'm black, so that
Hmm.
says enough in the ghetto. So that just
Hmm.
says enough in itself. And I ain't never thought about putting a pistol in my head and pulling the trigger. It would
Hmm.
never happen. But I'm not, I'm not saying that like I'm not compassionate about the situation because I am.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's hard for me to get so compassionate when I see these kids and hear about these kids
Hmm.
that don't only have months to fucking live, who want to do anything but to live. They want to live, but it's tomato
Yeah, I
tomato.
see.
You know what I'm
Yeah, no, I see that perspective. Yeah, I hadn't, thought of that and compared that together, but no, I respect your thought on that. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I say some situations is really cowardice, and it's just
Mm.
unfortunate that we don't have the power to switch bodies. Because I damn sure would. Like my son, he died at 17 from a brain aneurysm. Right? I don't
Mhm.
consider my son no special than your kid. He's just special to me. So
Mhm.
even though he gone, life goes on. So if I'm not sitting here boo hooing, going crazy every year that my son ain't here, I really ain't gonna be doing that for someone who took their life because shit is hard. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's
Mhm.
not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be like, damn, that's fucking crazy. And
Yeah,
I
Right.
wonder why he
that's a good
did
point.
that. So anyway, and go about my day. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it's real people out here, man. Innocent kids getting gunned down in school. They just want to go to school and learn and go home and play. They
Mhm.
don't even got the choice to want to live or not. Somebody took that from them, but you got the order. Never mind. I'm a mute up.
Hey, no, no, you good, homie. That's real talk. Because you know
Yeah.
what? Because like, dude, my brother, like here in Modesto, homie, like in Modesto too. My brother lives in Modesto, and there's this kid who literally fucking said he was gonna shoot up the school. They found his ass the next day. This was about a year ago, and they found a gun in his backpack, ready to shoot up the school. His homie fucking ratted him out. You don't know you when you're gonna live like the next day or anything like that, dude. It's just like life is short, dude. It's just like, it's man, like,
Man, you
cherish
are
it, man.
gifted the opportunity to live life and do it, possible, impossible things.
Exactly, dude. Don't kill yourself for it because you're hurting. You know, it's just like, dude, you lived another day. You lived another day. Come on, pick yourself up.
I'll say I agree with that, but I'll say also that's your choice. That's your choice. So I'm gonna respect your choice, but I don't mean I'm gonna agree with it and like it. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I'm at with it. Like you are obligated to do what you know. You got the right to do whatever you want to do with your life. But I don't think I'm gonna be sitting there super duper sad when I see what else is going on in this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially with the
exactly.
babies. You know,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to the babies. Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly, though. No, I agree with that. I agree with that, man.
Everybody else, welcome to the room. Welcome to the room. The common denominator, welcome to the room, sir. Jay Crockett, welcome to the room. Basically, we talking about this topic. My queen brought it, woke it back up. Miss LC, I follow you too. Yep, we good. She woke it back up. Do you consider suicide a coward's move? Any
No,
one of y'all can chime in on that. You say
no,
no?
nope, sure
All
no.
right, you break it down.
Oh, you said break it down.
Yeah, break it down. Why you don't think it's a coward move?
Well, taking life is not a coward move, whether it's your life or someone else's life, right? It takes some rationalization on why you're going to do it, but it has nothing to do with your fear or lack of, right? So that's as far as breaking down as I want to, because we have these things that's going on in this world, and we want to be able to label them. I want y'all to pay attention to this as humans. We look at certain things and we want to